I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play awesome tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is an ongoing campaign that I have been running. When I say campaign, more like an anthology campaign that I've been running since December of 2017. So it's getting along in the 2017, 2018. Sorry. Well, now I want to go back and look. Anyway, I've been running it for a while, and it's an anthology in that every month, sometimes twice in the same month, like this month, I choose a different RPG and I offer it up to the Gauntlet community, which is a worldwide group of awesome gamers who play together, and we will make characters and tell a story that exists in the Star Wars universe. And sure enough, I did start in December 2017. I went and looked at all my games tracked, and it's like a lot, guys. It's so much. We tell a story. The general backdrop or the timeline is that we began in the time period between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. We've told stories kind of loosely affiliated with the major events of the original trilogy. Now, as of the end of 2019, we've gone past the original trilogy. We're near the Star Wars Mandalorian timeline, which is a delight because that's an amazing show. It's like the best Star Wars thing that's come out since, I don't know, a long time. That said, I do have a soft spot in my heart for the current Clone Wars stuff that's going on. The episode that came out yesterday was pretty great. And man, the Bad Batch, I kind of like them. Even though I know that they want me to like them, I can't not like them. They're good and pretty cool and grizzled and amazing. That said, we are in the post Return of the Jedi, where the Empire is in the process of falling, but we don't have any official canon, Disney canon, for the events that take place other than what happens in Mandalorian. That said, just like how Disney chucked out all of the expanded universe and then pulled in the pieces that they want, I am using the warlord Zsinj, who is kind of dressed like a Prussian officer of some kind, who the warlord Zsinj has declared himself still loyal to the Empire while also becoming a warlord of his own mini empire that's located and takes over Mandalore and parts of the Outer Rim. And like you guys are playing the game Extinction. This is the second of two sessions. Extinction is a black hack of a black hack for Space Marine, Starship Trooper style action, but you guys are playing Stormtroopers. And you, in the last session, you faced some weird alien creature that had infected a bunch of scientists on a lost moon and station, the moon of Nox, and the station Vanguard, which promptly you guys blew up from orbit because all things are right and proper in the Stormtrooper way. Zach, one of our troopers, the medic, of course, is the one who received some infection. You guys threw him in a Bactic tank and raced back to your home world, or the world where you currently are headquartered, which is Sereno, which is where Zsinj normally stays, and within the Zsinj's empire. So we are going to be skipping forward a few weeks, long enough for all of you to have, for your current squad to have received a new fire team. If you take a look in the NPC's stuff and LV, you'll see that fire team Epsilon has joined on to replace fire team Gamma. That entire fire team was lost up on the top deck. And the fire team Epsilon has someone from Chandrilla, Lothal, Savarine, and then a Spacebound. I also stuck in, because you guys did it and it was so cool, I stuck in Stormtrooper style code names for everybody. And that was fun. So a few pictures in there for Pag Rebishan, PX844, who's the Epsilon fire team leader, And Epsilon also has a flame trooper or the incinerator trooper, but I'm just saying flame trooper. Maybe I should change it to incinerator since we call the fire team. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, Rack Lildheld. Man, do I love Star Wars name generators. They're fun. Didn't lose Duke. That's right. He's tenacious. He went down into engineering and came out. Got his little shebs saved by Pex a few times, but he made it out. As a reminder, friends, we have lines and veils. If you have anything you'd like to add to that, feel free. It is on our NPC stuff in L and V. Right now we have a line on sexual violence. We have veils on torture and violence towards children. And man, do I love how iPhone tells me when a number coming in is a telemarketer, so I don't even have to bother. Let me just hit my button on my phone to tell it to go the hell away. So we have those lines. If you guys add any lines or veils, we'll totally integrate those as well. And then layer on top of that is our situational safety tool of the X card. If there's anything that causes you discomfort, causes you to want to withdraw, or is a little too much for you, then just go ahead and tap the X card. And the way to do that is to just say it or to put it in chat. Or also, yep, you can make it right there on the video. And I hope that Greg isn't X-carding my telling you about the X. No, he's not. All right, we're good. We're good. And then also on our roll for your party, which I love, is an X-card thing that actually pops up on everyone's screen. Very cool little gadget. Lots of ways for it to happen. I'm going to proceed forth in a PG-13 vein with lots of blood and guts and severed arms and Star Wars blasters and big monsters. Kind of fun, but if we stumble into something that bothers you, you just let me know and we will adjust. Nothing is more important than you guys having a good time and feeling safe. Whatever fiction we have created is below that. It's like several rungs below that because we're all smart and we can do stuff and it's made up anyway. Let's do some intros of our troopers. So we're going to pick up at your home base, as it were, where you're stationed in Sereno. Sereno is a very industrialized world. And if you click on the little, like in our Extinction map, which I'm going to show in a little bit here, but if you click on it, it actually has a link to the planet info with a cool pop-up picture of it because it's awesome. And I like Google Drawings and it does that kind of stuff. So feel free. But if you could introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about your trooper in their downtime. Like, what is the kind of thing that they do? You're on base, it's military life, everything's pretty regimented. Still the Empire, at least ostensibly. So other than the fact that Commander Moti has a slave attending him, there's not a great deal to do. There is a PX, basically a station, a place on station where on base where you can get things and stuff as long as it's approved. And then there are a few civilian places that you can go to, but you have to be out of uniform to do that. And of course, there are spies who are watching you, who will report back on you if you do anything inappropriate. And, you're still stormtroopers, guys. Wow. Let's start with Greg. If you can introduce yourself and then tell us what we see ZT doing stuff in downtown.
Hey, I'm Greg Gelder. I'm playing ZT825, who just goes by ZT. She is the fire team leader. And I think I want to pull a little bit of the background in here. I think ZT, the old TIE Fighter games on the PC, there was like the simulator that you go into. It's like all the training thing. I think there's something similar for stormtroopers, and it's like historic battles that you run through the simulations on, and it's probably like super polygonal and weird, but I think she's trying to find from the archive the battle where she lost her squad, and she can't find it, and it's been like black marked out, and it's like there's like a date skip, and she's trying to like get into the computer and access those logs, and she can't get in.
Wow, that's heartbreaking and awesome. Great work. Scott, you are up next. Tell us a bit about your character and introduce yourself, of course.
I'm Scott, and I use the pronouns he, him, and I'm playing ZK650, also known as Zach, the medic in our group. I previously have been on volunteer for some interrogation missions to assist with those, which have left me a bit scarred. During my downtime, I, as someone who got infected, I've been spending some time doing some research on virology, I think. I've never seen any or even heard of contagions that did this kind of thing. And I presume research in a Star Wars universe is a combination of super high tech things and super analog things. And none of them are connected in any way whatsoever. And I've been trying to do this on the down low because it seems like some of that was stuff that none of us ever knew about, and no one would answer any of the questions that we asked. So,
Indeed. Mysteries and mysteries. Fantastic. And then last, but certainly not least, Stephen, please introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
My name's Stephen, and I use the pronouns he, him. Can you hear me okay? No?
Okay, but it's a little, muted.
How's that? Is that any better?
About the same, but I can hear you. It's okay.
I'm Stephen. I use the pronouns he, him. Fantastic. I'm playing HN843, otherwise known as Nate. Nate is just a grunt. He's like the backbone of the Stormtrooper crew, right? Everybody has to have grunts. He follows orders. He just does what he's told. His last two crews were eliminated. The last two groups that he was with, but nobody else really knows that, other than maybe the commanders who've looked into it. So during the downtime, Nate is actually trying to connect with his other soldiers. And so I think that he goes to one of these kind of civilian places, and it's sort of the Stormtrooper equivalent of a fight club, right? They get out of their armor and they just beat the crap out of each other. So I imagine that Pex is there, right? And I think that, Pex beats the crap out of Nate. And, they have big, he's got a big black eye and everything like that, but with the helmet, it's fine. And so he looks in uniform, he looks fine. But I think they've got a little bit of a camaraderie going on, that Nate's feeling a little bit better because he's making friends and getting beaten up. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I kind of imagine we see a montage of that fight, and afterwards at one point, Pex kind of spits out a bunch of blood and he's laughing. He reaches and he pulls out a tooth and flicks it across. There's a little bit of camaraderie through shared bloodshed. That is fantastic. So we circle back through, and with Zach's research, one piece of information that you find is that your file is currently classified. Is this a thing that Zach would try to maybe slice into a little bit? Maybe gather a little bit more information?
Oh, without a doubt. That certainly raises flags for Zach, who's already been in a state of questioning.
Nice. Well, Zach, you're a pretty smart fellow. A pretty sharp trooper. So let's have you roll int. So you're going to roll a d20 and try to get under your 15. So chances look okay for you. Remember, 1 is always a critical success. 20s are always a critical failure.
I actually rolled a 16. So.
Oh, man. Yeah, so you roll a 16. After a little bit, your classification, you find something you you unlock it, and when it reveals your information, it shows that your status is that the medicine, the medical, the Bacta that they put in you, all of the treatments they've given you have only stabilized the infection, and that you are under heavy study, with the possibility of termination if showing further progression of the infection.
Oh God. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Yep. So we cut over to ZT, and as you are paging through the different battles, you're able to get to everything except for that specific unit. It pops up, and basically it's an eyes only executive thing, and it asks for a passcode.
It's an old code. I'll try. Maybe there's like some code that I picked up from an Imperial officer way back when.
Oh, you want to try to slice it?
Overheard while I was on a deck bridge, on a ship bridge. That I was like, oh, keep that one in my back pocket.
Nice. You got you got a decent shot, 11 or less. Let's roll that d20 and see if you're able to get in there. And
I'm rolling with strength.
You are?
You said 11.
I meant like 11.
Oh, intelligence. Right, because you have to. Yeah,
roll
if you tie,
Sorry.
it doesn't count.
Roll with intelligence. Sorry, I should have been clearer.
All good. All right. There we go. It's a 10.
Oh, sweet. So it turns out that old code still works. I mean, maybe the person who has the key code or the code to their key sequence will be notified at some later point. But for now, you get your information. Information unlocks. You see the roll, and you're able to watch as your squad goes into a situation against some Republic commandos, like dropship troopers, and it's an entire squad. You lose half the squad, and then there's a moment where ZT and several others, they start kind of screaming, and you hear over the comms and the information that a few of them are kind of speaking incoherently. And then the troopers just go berserk, and they start not only shooting the dropship troopers, but running through blaster bolts as if they have so much adrenaline that they're ignoring it, and they start tearing apart the dropship troopers, and then they turn on each other. And you witness as ZT is the last one standing in her squad before the recording ends. So, three of you meet back up, and the first thing that you are greeted by is your fellow fire team trooper, Rafan Zapal ZR601, as he says, "Oh, ZT, Zach, you guys should have seen it over at the cantina off base. And they got a secret fight club, and Zach beat the snot, beat the poodoo out of Pex, man. It was amazing."
Are you telling me that you attended a non-sanctioned fight club?
Yeah,
no, sir.
CR601?
Sir, no, sir. And I think I, kind of shove him a little bit, and step in front of Rafan so that there's no line of sight between ZT and Rafan. Yeah.
And sorry, which one did you beat the crap out of, Nate?
Pex.
Oh, Pex beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, but according to Rafan,
right.
Nate beat the crap out of Pex. He's just going to change the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm guessing you probably have some bruises.
Oh, I'm in uniform.
Okay.
Yeah. As is
Raffin
fitting
hasn't put his
whenever I'm on
helmet
base.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Raffin like puts his helmet on to hide behind Nate, and sorry. I didn't know you cared about the regs that much. Just blowing off steam. Come on, Corporal.
All right. As long as you're fit for duty.
Sergeant Halcyon comes through and says, "All right, troopers, we got another mission. Form up." And the Epsilon, Alpha, and Beta, as well as you guys all hustle up to mark on the line. You see that most everybody is at least partially in uniform. It is go time. Epsilon, they're a bunch of shinies, guys. Like, their uniform is glistening. And they definitely, like, they all have the high and tight. They are fully on board, fresh, clean. They don't have the haunted look, the 1,000-yard stare. All they've ever done are Sims. You know, this is it. They've eat, live, breathe Empire, and they're all about it. So Sergeant Halcyon's there, and as usual, Commander Modi is there to give you guys your marching orders. He turns and he walks up and down, and he pretty much, last time he was dressing people down for just the tiniest infractions, anything that didn't look perfect, spit shined, and he passes over Epsilon like they're no problem whatsoever. And he comes along. He gives a little bit of trouble to Corporal Duke Sarlin, and Sarlin barks at the rest of his fire team. And finally, Modi heads back and he says, "Very well, squad. We've received communication from Aldivi. Aldivi is an agri-world. We had to put down a bit of rebellion there recently. One of my compatriots, Admiral Apwa Tritit, destroyed New Old Town for their refusal to assist the Empire in our time of need. But after quieting that bit of rebellion, the remainder of the forces have called for help. Now, of course, now that they are part of the Empire, we will serve them even though they were scum before. Now, I am sending all of you with the hammer. You'll be traveling to Aldivi. You'll be handling whatever is going on, the remnants of New Old Town. There are reports of one of their moisture farms going silent. Could very well be a waste of our time, but we will still send you to investigate. Halcyon, go ahead. Muster up the troops. And may all of you serve the Empire well. And now, since you heard the man, everyone form up. Grab your gear. We've got 3 minutes to get up to the line and ready to get onto the grav hammer. So everybody falls out and hustles to go grab all of your gear and head on to, again, Captain Dama Jassar's grav hammer, the Gazanti-class cruiser. Still have the same 2 pilots as before. Kuna Bibble and Leru Vanda are there, and you guys hop in. Now, as we take a look at our Extinction map, which I make you look at because I like it. Really, there's like, it's not exactly useful, but it's cute and it makes me happy, so shut up. I don't know why I'm so defensive about this thing. It's fine, Rich. They're fine with it. So Sereno is here. You'll be heading up one of the hyperspace lanes, the same one that you headed up to get to Noakes. This is a much shorter. This is just a few-hour trip. You can hop into hyperspace, pop, drop off, and head to Aldivi. Aldivi is Outer Rim backwater agri world. Does have a few deserts, and Old Town is where you will be headed. Anything you guys want to do during your downtime? I have restored everyone's hit points to full. You also are all second level. I see that everyone took your advances to add to your attributes. And since you got survivor's luck for ZT, I went ahead and added that as one of your little benefits there. So it starts on row 24 with a little checkbox, since it's once per mission. So you can click that whenever you utilize your survivor's luck, which is a pretty awesome little Benny for you. So anything anyone wants to do during your travel to Aldivi?
I think I'm going to let Pex know that Rafan was a little bit loose-lipped, and we might make a little visit. I don't know if there's enough space on the ship for us to catch him.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. You can catch him at a refresher if you want. That's a nice private place for stuff. So yeah, you tell Pex that, are you guys going to deliver a little be quiet reminder? Is this the plan?
Yeah. So, I think it's like, okay, someone's broken the code, and we need to show them how important the code is to us. And, we wait until there's a, moment whenever Rafan heads to the refresher. And then as he comes to step out, we'll jump him.
Nice. Cool. So go ahead and give me, I'm going to let you roll with advantage because he did not see this coming. Like, he sees Pex and he pauses for a second, but then you're on him. So you get to roll with advantage, and go ahead. This is a melee attack, so you'll be using strength.
Okay. And I rolled,
No, it's not a melee attack, it's a hand-to-hand.
Yeah. So with strength, I rolled a 20 and a 16. So both of those fail.
Yeah.
I don't know, with advantage, I would pick the 16. I would not pick the 20.
Yeah, no, you don't want to pick the 20. That would be that would be a poor choice.
With disadvantage, I would choose the 20 because you roll 2 and take the worst. Yeah.
Yep. So remember, on your turn, you can take 2 actions. Uh-huh. So your first couple strikes, I think for some reason, when he sees you, he reads your face, I guess maybe, are you in uni? Like, do you have your helmet on?
No, I think I would have taken my uniform off so it doesn't show any dents or anything like that.
Cool.
And yeah.
Right. So
I think I'm probably trying to take it a little bit easy on him, and pulling my punches a little bit at first. Because I don't want to get him all marked up or anything.
Fair enough. So he catches the last second, like you had the jump on him, but then he reads it, like you telegraphed it. And so he ducks down and he starts to move out of the way, and he's headed towards one of the refreshers. There's actually like a little kind of panic button. He's headed for that. So Pex tackles him and drags him to the ground. Now, remember, on your turn, you can take 2 actions. Mm-hmm. So you can move and you can attack or take another action. If you want to roll adrenaline, you can take a second attack this round before he does anything.
So I don't think this is important enough for adrenaline.
Fair.
Besides, I've got Pex there.
All right.
But I think I'm going to put myself between him and the alert button.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so you move and enter. Yeah, sweet. So he starts trying to kick Pex off of him because Pex has drug him down to the ground so that you can stomp him or something. And he's like, "What are you doing? I was on your team. Come on." And his action is he's trying to talk his way out of this. Pex is ignoring this. I assumed you are as well.
I think I'm going to talk back and simply say, this is a lesson about being on a team and how you back up your people.
Nice. Cool. All right. So we'll just do one more round before he kind of succumbs to this. Give me an initiative roll. This is a little bit of a reminder, right? So make a nerve test. And if you succeed, you act before the opposition.
So I got a 5. So that should work.
you're badass. Sweet.
Yeah,
So give me an attack. You get advantage again because you're going before him, so he hasn't extricated himself from Pax's clutches.
Well, that was a 3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I
Yeah.
do exactly what Pex was kind of expecting. It's because Pex is holding him down. I stomp him a couple of times, but
Nice.
I don't hit the face. You know, I hit the ribs, the chest area, where I'm sure that the armor will guard him whenever we get into battle. I don't want to weaken him if we see
Exactly.
any
These
action.
are all
But I want him.
strategic. You're a grunt.
I want him to feel it, and I want him to feel it, you know, for a while, where he winces a little bit as he's walking and he remembers this lesson.
Awesome. So it's an unarmed attack. Go ahead and roll 1d6. If you roll high, you may have broken something.
Okay. I rolled a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
You punch him in the breadbasket a couple of times, and then he crumples over. In that last punch, you felt something give way, and he wheezes. It's not going to kill him, right? You have not beaten him to death, but you did a lot of harm to this guy. And Pex, I think Pex just lets you do it, right? Like, he was there to be your backup. He's your fire team member. And then I think it's a thing where he leans over as your fire team buddy, Rafan, is wheezing, and he says, keep this in mind, trooper. We're squad, right? Right? You rat any one of us out, you tell your fire team leader what Nate did to you, we're going to come for you. We're going to come for you real hard. This is a bunch of love pats. And he slaps him on the forehead.
I think Pex goes to leave, and I think Nate kind of leans over and goes, "You'll thank us for this later." And then we'll kind of walk away. Yeah.
Nice. And he's laying there, kind of drooling out, spits a little bit on the thing, and he knows he's got to clean up the mess that he made before he heads back. Anything for Zach? I mean, you've got a lot weighing on your mind with that last bit of information.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to try to pull ZT aside at some point.
This is perfect. This is exactly what I was going for too. I'm thinking like a Star Wars camera pan. Like, it's just another spot in the same refresher on the ship.
Yeah, so we get the swipe transition, and with that transition, we're walking. CT-825, are you giving any special instructions around me?
I think ZT has gone to wherever the medical bay is and has grabbed one of the meta scanners, and in this strange moment of Star Trek and Star Wars, just kind of like quickly like jabs Zach in like the neck region
when Zach was sleeping.
Yeah. I have some concerns, Trooper. Are you straight? Are you solid?
I feel solid, but I can't really access my own records to see what the doctors think.
I'm not entirely sure I believe that.
Well, let's just say I can't if I'm following the regulations. And I would always follow the regulations.
Of course, Trooper, I would too. What was the planet where I was on when that found the recording?
Let's say
let's check at the map. Hold on.
No, I would actually kind of lead into next month's game, so I want it to be on Mandalore.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, or not Mandalore?
Mandalore?
No. Sorry, Dathomir.
Dathomir, absolutely. Okay. Were you on Dathomir, Zach?
I served there.
I'm gonna like look around and see if this is like Imperial spies, right? And I'm gonna show Zach the recording I found. But carefully edited so as not to show that I am like the sole survivor. But just like the stormtroopers like going insane and going after the drop troopers. I found this recording.
And Zach, you see it. It's like something happens to these guys and they go feral. They're making noises, but it's all grunts. It's more animalistic. And yeah, you see them. They stop firing weapons. They're just stabbing and gripping and punching. It's
Fighting.
yeah.
Oh my god. That's something horrible is going on. I've got a really bad feeling about it.
Do you think we're just going to clean up a moisture farm?
Second place that went silent. They sent us before, they're sending us again. It's a lot going silent in a short period.
Yeah, we brought a bunch of chrome domes with us too.
If this bug inside me is spreading, then
it's still spreading.
Well, if that's what you saw on Dathomir,
and we'll do
in the galaxy, I feel fine. I'm perfectly okay. You can trust me, ZT-825. I'm fully fit for duty.
And I'll extend my hand and be like, if I turn, I need you to have a blaster to my head. Agreed?
If you will do me the same favor.
Absolutely, Trooper.
Thank you.
Nice.
What does it seem?
Good stuff. Cool. Anybody have anything else they want to do before you guys land on? We're all good?
Awesome. I think at some point there's probably just a short scene of Rafan like stumbling back to his bunk, and ZT is just, "You okay, Trooper?"
5x5.
Understood.
He's all surly. His support of Nate has changed because he did it in the wrong way. Follow the regs. You guys, again, it's much shorter trip. It's half a day. So before long, you are descending into Atmo. The Gazanti class cruiser does have the ability to land on planet, and therefore your captain, Jessar, does so. She lands outside. And as you guys are coming down, remember you had that one porthole outside of your thing. You can see there's no smoke. Like, it's been a while since New Old Town was blasted from space. It was decimated. You still see the rubble. There aren't enough survivors to have cleaned it up. They've effectively set up a small, like in one of the subdivisions that took the least amount of damage. The PD survivors have moved in there. They are cowed. All resistance has been beaten out of them. And you guys land in a makeshift area in the desert. New Old Town, no longer called New Old Town. You've heard that Zsinj thought that it was a stupid name, and made a joke that New Old Town was destroyed less because of them being rebellious, but because Admiral Trigid found it an offensive name, and so yeah, he's ordered that city's name never be spoken again. So now it's called New Kalen. But it is at best a shanty town. You guys, the ship lands and you all march off in formation, spit shined, looking impressive, helmets hiding bruises, broken bones, and the like. And Captain Jassard remains on. She's doing some post-flight checks with her crew, and the two ties have already, like, they dropped and popped, and they're doing some patrols to get you guys some aerials. You are met by the administrator of New Kalen, Zafia Luhan. She's down on our NPCs tab at row 44, so C and D 44 is a pic of her. She is human, in her late 30s, and she comes out of a tent, a larger tent, but it's pretty obvious that she doesn't have a permanent fixed home. She comes out to greet Sergeant Halcyon. You guys can overhear the conversation, and she says, "Thank you for coming so quickly, Sergeant. I am the administrator of New Kalen, and I did send off the report. The Camilra homestead, which is a moisture farm about 10 clicks from New Kalen, they went silent yesterday. There was a family there, father, mother, 2 daughters. They did have some droids and some workers there, so we would expect that at least one of them would have been able to come to us, but none of them have responded to comms. There have been some reports of creatures that they gave us yesterday morning, and then everything went quiet. We don't have any weapons. All of them have been taken. We can't defend ourselves." And Sergeant Halcyon says, "Thank you for your report." And he calls in, and Jassard, there's a little APC, because the freaking Stormtrooper troop transport's the best, right? So we get to use it. We're totally going to use that thing. So you guys, it hums down, and he pairs off and cuts the squad in half, leaving half of them here to maintain. Yet again, Beta is left behind, and Alpha is left behind as well. So you guys are sent out with the shinies. And he says, "Because you're the most experienced trooper and fire team leader, ZT, you're going to be leading this. Keep in close contact with me. I want to know what you see, eyes and ears. This could be nothing but a dust off, but it might be something else." Any questions, troopers? All right. So who gets to drive the unit? Are you guys, anyone itching to drive the big troop transport, or are you going to assign one of the Epsilons to do it?
Oh, I think Nate should drive.
Yeah.
Statistically, Nate should drive.
Yeah. Sir, yes, sir. And I hop in the driver's seat.
That's true. You definitely the best driver of the best. Yes. So good. Everybody remembers what the troop transport looks like. It's one of those weird things. That is the weirdest Star Wars toy. I love it unabashedly, but it's not.
Did you have one of those?
I did not. I was jealous of my friend who did, though.
I had one whenever I was a kid, and it had little buttons on the top that would say different things.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And in case anyone is curious what we're talking about, I will go ahead and share a pic. Here we go. Bazinga. An actual one from, I think this was this is Mandalorian. They actually had a troop transport in Mandalorian when all the shinies came out. That was freaking amazing. They actually made it look cool because it was a dorky ass toy. There's actually a Lego version too. I'm not sure if you guys were aware of that. Sorry, I'll shut up. So you guys zip along 10 clicks, and it's easy enough. This troop transport is a hover vehicle. And as you guys are coming closer, there's normally like, communications back and forth because there are the moisture evaporators and the like. They're often connected if there are any kind of satellites. Comm traffic is dead. It's nothing coming out of here. If you guys pop over to the Aldivi tab, I'll move it closer to Delta Fire Team. You see up ahead is the dome, and you can see that off behind the dome, as you're approaching the dome, being the main entrance where speeder will be pulled up, where a family would eat and the like, and then behind that is that kind of dugout area where the moisture evaporators and the water collection units and all of the main heart of the moisture farm is located. So Nate, any particular approach?
I think my training would tell me that I would approach with the inexperienced trooper side. So I think the Epsilons are coming with us, right?
Yeah.
So that side's going to be towards the moisture farm, so I'll pull up that way, so that the experienced team has cover, and kind of set down and pop the little what's the right word? The controls that open the little doors for the troops to step out.
Cool. And I think as you guys are going closer and Epsilon gets a view of what's going on, you would hear Scherzen, Volkadir, the Savarinian, GF-295 from the fire team Epsilon. He says, "Oh yeah, we got to rescue some farmers, maybe some farmers' daughters." And Rack Lildheld, the flame trooper, he says, "Rescue them from their virginity."
I'm not going to miss a single one of them. I think as those doors open, I think Rafan is about to like fall out with the rest of our squad, and I just grab him by the back of his armor.
He winces a little bit.
Yeah. And I say, "You look like a dewback on the way to slaughter. Get on that gun."
Yes, sir. So you're sticking him on the transport gun?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want him out there trying to run around.
That is a badass gun for someone to man. So yeah, he will get in that little turret gun. And cool. So as you guys head out to the farm homestead, I've opened up or unhid kind of a cool, and yes, you will recognize this, but I mean, how many different moisture farms designs could there be? Plus this was just nice. So there's a nice little cutout look. I'll quickly share it. And I'm about to pause. I gotta mute so I can sneeze.
Nope, you're on mute.
That's what it looks like. So it's the general layout. You've got the main house. Are you sending the Epsilon to head into the main house, the above ground house first? You want to head out the cutout area where the actual moisture farm devices are located? What's the plan, fire team leader?
Sorry, I am double checking my equipment here real quick.
And don't forget, like, this is if you have equipment that you need, you probably have it.
I was interested in that mapping drone, which I might, there's all those moisture farms, they have that little hole, and I think I'll just sort of send it down there, quickly scanning the surrounding area, and I'll gesture towards the top hut area with Epsilon squad, and we'll stay near the APC for right now.
Cool. So Epsilon fire team leader Corporal Rebishan, he says, "All right, troops, let's go." So,
I think as this is going on, Nate pulls out like from the cockpit. There's like some of those binoculars,
Mhm.
and he starts scanning the perimeter behind us to make sure everything's clear and no one's going to come behind us.
yeah, awesome. You see the TIE fighter, one of the silhouettes of the TIE fighter way off in the distance where it actually kind of almost disappears from the heat waves that are coming up from the desert. It's hot. I don't think troopers have good cooling systems. So, there's a lot of people getting grimy, sweaty underneath their armor. And you hear from PX 844, front door's locked. Go ahead and slice it. And the incinerator trooper is like standing back, ready for anything to happen. As Shurzan, the one who made the farmers, he comes in, and he like starts using his slicing tools, and eventually the door opens up, and you hear one of the troopers say, "Shouldn't they have some kind of transport out here?" And then they head inside, and they're quickly moving. Check those corners. As you guys are staying kind of overwatch. And eventually you hear from Corporal Rebishan, "ZT, there's nobody in here. Looks like signs of a struggle, though. Some blood here. This doesn't look great."
All right. So is the mapping drone showing any life signs?
So the mapping drone is showing any life signs. I think. What do you imagine that? So it's a mapping drone. Hold on a sec. Let's use rules rather than Rich just make stuff up. Let's see. Let's find that sucker in there. Corporate.
I think it does take like a really long time.
Yeah, I think so too. I was trying to find the mapping.
Hours. It also maps a Marge structure. I don't know if this counts as a Marge.
3d6 hours. Cool. So the mapping drone has picked up no surface life signs other than you guys troopers, but it's that's the initial scan on the surface, and so everything that's exposed to air, the subterranean aspects of this facility, it will take it 3d6 hours. You want to roll a 3d6 just so we can know? I know you do.
No. I should have looked at the rules before I did that. Let's see. I think
it tells you that Marge will take a certain number of hours. No.
I think I'll pull Zach close, tell Nate to sort of keep the speeder running, and go see what Epsilon Squad has found. Tell them to stay put. Don't go any further.
Cool. So I assume Zach hops too. You head inside, and you see that there are 3 generally nervous troopers, because the incinerator trooper stays outside. He's still got the pilot light going on his little flamethrower. You head in, and they've all got their their E11s out, and Pag, who's the corporal, he points out, he says, "Look, there's a couple of blaster shots here. I thought they said they didn't have any weapons." And then he points out that there's a little bit of blood near a table as well. What do you do there? Hey, Scott.
I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
I'm gonna go get a quick sample of the blood cautiously, very cautiously.
Okay.
Checking any shadows or any other means of egress from the room.
Cool. So heading in, you
like
check that out, looking for other egress. Of course, there's the way out, the main door that was taken in, but there's also a shaft heading down that you find that these troopers didn't look for because they're green and they just checked the exits that were very obvious and available. But yeah, you see there's a little, not Jeffrey's too, but like a shaft and with a ladder there. And yeah, you see there's a few blood smears right at the corner of the lip heading down into the shaft.
Something down here. ZT. Something went down here. See the blood?
Yeah, and I'll look at this. Are there any claw marks?
No, you don't.
No, just blasters and blood. Okay.
2 blaster shots. Looks like they may have came from the same general area.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't see any blasters here.
I thought Zofia said nobody had weapons.
Yeah, I heard that too. HN843, Nate, you seeing anything on the horizon out there?
Nope, just our birds.
Copy that. All right, Epsilon.
Rax says, bunch of farmers this far out in the middle of nowhere, they've got to have a rifle or a pistol or something. They're not going to give that up.
True that. All right. Nate, get on the horn. Tell anybody here who's still around to come out and drop their weapons. I don't want anybody running into any corners and getting some mistaken identity going on here. This is all above board.
Nice. So I think Nate gets on a little communicator transmitter thing and starts transmitting. And I imagine in Star Wars, this connects to like the moisture farm tower things that they have and starts projecting from that like a little speaker system. Yeah,
like a little loudspeaker. Whatever you say starts in the hut where Zach and the rest of the Epsilon Shinies are. They'll hear whatever you broadcast, and it's obviously echoing up the shaft from below. So,
and it's by the authority of the Imperials, we are here to remove any rebels or any threat, and we will not do any harm to anyone who steps out now. Please step out and make yourself obvious with your arms in the air, and we will take you into custody and protect you.
No response. It's a long time of quiet. I rolled 3d6 and just 15 hours and just 42 minutes left.
Oh boy. Who is it that was asking about the farmer's daughters? Was that the
that was Scherzen.
All right. I'll just clap him on his pauldron and be like, well, I bet the farmer's daughters are down that hole.
He turns and looks at you for a second. I guess you want me to go first?
Well, that's up to Pag, but that's what I'd do. And I think if we're looking at the map here, I'm gonna go towards that like motor pool area. Is that the only entrance into this whole place?
Actually, so I'll share screens just so I can point at stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna do another thing too. Let me change our roll for your party background just so it's easy to look at it in a nice big way. And so we'll go here. All right, here we are. So what that shaft that I talked about, it heads down from this upper area down to this area. You can, of course, go out and then come around. There's a, I'm going to drop this to 90%. There we go. A little bit easier. So just as you talked about the droid repair, basically the workshop, here there is a, is that another, like a speeder?
That's the Lars family speeder, seen in the background as they're repairing C-3PO.
Awesome. All right. So there's an area where you can pull up here. So evidently there's a rise that this is set up on. That way they can have the dugout. So you can approach from the speeder entrance, or this hangar bay, effectively the garage, or you can head down the ladders, which is what Nate had found, or sorry, Zach had found.
All right. Yeah. Delta Squad. We're going to take a look down that speeder hangar. These, I'm going to let the chrome domes take a look down this hole.
Cool. And you, as soon as you say that, Epsilon's Corporal Pag says, "All right, you heard him. You heard the sir. Let's do this." And grumbling just for a second, the Epsilon fire team starts to head down the chute, and with the incinerator trooper coming down last, which you realize is unwise because the incinerator trooper turns the flames on. He will burn up his buddies. It's a very obvious, shiny mistake. Not breaking regs as much as just poor tactics. You guys circle around. You've got Rafan still up there on the troop transport by the turret, waiting. When you come around to this area, you see that this speeder, while in this picture, is not here. So when you come into the garage area, you see that it's a double bay, so they could have had two speeders. The equipment here looks relatively undisturbed, but there's an odd smell. It does not smell like a moisture farm or rust or anything. It's an organic smell that you pick up on the air. It smells a little bit like dog sweat, that musky odor. If you guys have ever experienced that, so that's what you pick up as you enter the hangar and head towards the workshop. Are people talking on mute? Just wanted to check in.
I'm always going first. I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, let so the I'll other people point. Jump in.
I'll take point. As we step in, I'll step into the darkness. I'll step into the darkness and kind of look around. I have my blaster out, and I'm checking the corners, and I'm stepping through, working my way through to the repair area.
Nice. So as you head to the repair area, where you would expect to see droids and a bunch of equipment for working on the evaporators and the generators and all that good stuff. When you come in, you see a little bit of movement, and something moves from a table behind a couch. It's small, and what do you do?
Okay, let me make sure I understand our orders. Our orders are to come make contact with these people and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I think I go on guard immediately. I don't fire. I step back and I say, sir, there's movement in here. Could be a rat. Could be a child. They said that they had 2 daughters. So I'll step out of the way so that other troopers can enter. Mm-hmm.
And this would have been provided to Corporal ZT. That's the Camarilla family.
Copy that. I'll have Rafan cover our 6 at the hangar door, and go into the room. Are we like midday? I'm guessing this is all.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, okay.
midday. I think it's hot out. Midday, sun's high up. It's not too suns at least.
All right, I'm just trying to figure out how bright it would be in there. And I'll go poking around for this womp rat that
Cool.
Nate has found.
Also, give me a perception roll.
All right.
Sorry, intelligence.
Intelligence. I was about to say there is
no
not very
perception, Rich.
All right. That is a 5 on my 12.
Yeah. So you start moving around quick and quiet. And do you catch sight of dusky brown hair on the head of a small human girl just before she looks up, meets eyes with you, and then tries to scamper away? Oh, you went on mute.
There we go. I'm gonna like try and rush ahead so I can like close the door that leads out to like the rest of the moisture farm. So that I get just get in front of her.
You're faster than her. You got the drop on her. You roll a 5 on perception. It's no fine. You slam the door closed, and she skulks back and looks up at you fearfully. And she's looking, just eyes darting around. She looks very spooked. She does fit the idents for the Camarilla family, the youngest daughter, Krista. You see that there are several like spatters of blood on the side of her face, but she does not appear right now to be wounded, at least not out on her hands and face from what you see.
And ZT like reaches underneath her helmet and undoes whatever thing holds the helmet on.
Yeah, it's always like they do like a sound effect.
Yeah, whatever it is. And pulls it off, puts her blaster behind her, and says, whoa, hey, and is gesturing for Zach to come closer.
ZT, what?
Check her for any wounds she may have. It's gonna be okay.
You have to go.
Have to go?
You have to go.
Do you want to come with us?
Yes.
Are you scared? You seem scared. All right, I'm gonna do a med check on her, and she's really scared. ZT, something's got her frightened out of her wits.
I could see that, Trooper. No. All right. You said this was possibly Krista?
Yes.
Yeah.
Krista? Okay. Are you Krista? Okay.
Krista.
What happened here, Krista?
Monsters came. Big monsters came. They took everybody.
What did the monster look like, Krista?
It looked like then coming over comms, you hear a slightly worried voice of your corporal, Pag. Pag, he says, ZT, I think we've run into some bogeys. Gods, they're big. And then you hear blaster fire echo underneath here. And she says, big worms, we need to go. We need to go.
And I'm going to reach down and take her hand.
Yeah.
make sure she stays behind me. We'll keep you safe.
Is this a good
Cool.
time for a bio break?
Yeah, let's do that. So let's go ahead. It's 14 after. Let's take at least 6 minutes and meet 20 after. See you guys in a bit. How you been, Steven?
I'm doing okay. Work's quite busy, but other than work, it's been fine. How about you?
Pretty good. I'm ready for it to be not cold as much. That'd be nice.
I actually enjoy the cold, but not the kind of cold you get. But living in Austin, it's 50 degrees. It's 50 or 55 outside. Yeah, it's at 62. So yesterday it got up into the 70s. So
Shut up.
I am dreading the summer whenever it's like 100 or 110. Because I'm like, oh, it's so hot.
110. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a trade. Like, do I want to trade 110 to get rid of the terrible cold?
Yeah. Greg, what's your cat's name?
That is she's Bubby, but she's her vet name is Bobby. We named her for Bobby Draper from The Expanse. She's a super lovey, probably part Mancoon. And every time I leave my seat, she comes and steals the warmth.
That's funny. I stuck a pick in just so you guys can feel super protective of Krista now. So she's down there on starting at row 44, E and F of the NPC stuff and LNV.
You're the worst, Rich. That makes us, yeah.
Yep, I did it on purpose. By the way, that is the actress who played young Rey. Not that it matters for this purpose, but there you go. Sweet. So we are back. And last thing that you had said was you asked what's the thing, and then you heard from Epsilon, hey, we got bogeys. They're big. And then you hear blaster fire, then you hear a scream, then you hear, I'll cook them. I'm like, no. And then the sound of flames. What do you do? Oh, hey, first, I think everyone should make a nerve test. We've got mechanics. This game does stuff for fear. Let's do that. So we're going to make a fear check. Nerve test. Failure means you run away unless you choose to roll adrenaline. Critical failure leads to a panic attack. Mechanics.
So I rolled a 5 under 10, so I'm good.
It's awesome. You're fine.
Yeah. So Nate kind of forms up at the exit, waiting to lead his troop out.
I got a 6. I'm good. I succeeded.
I didn't have my helmet on, and that's why I'm blaming the die. I rolled a 16 on my nerve. So that means I have to re-roll my adrenaline if I want to keep my cool. Is that correct?
What you do is you just roll adrenaline.
Okay, I just roll adrenaline and it might degrade. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay, I keep it a lid on it. I got a 5.
Okay, sweet. You don't even lose adrenaline. There's a moment of like fight or flight, and I think maybe it's exacerbated by the girl who like grabs your arm and tries to tug you away, right? But then you're good. Oh, you got a TIE Fighter shirt. I love it. All the themed, so good. I didn't even see the TIE Fighter shirt till just now. Scott, me and you, we got to get more Star Wars shirts. That's all I'm saying. All right. Right? I know. Cool. So Nate is right by the door. He is good to go. Zach, you're cool and collected. I mean, maybe knowing that you're still infected makes you tougher.
So I'll take point, and as the troop comes up behind me and gets ready to exit, I'll step into the next room, do a sweep with my weapon, and advance on through towards the exit.
Awesome. So you are, just so I'm clear, you're not heading out of the workshop towards the garage. You're taking a step into the next room, which is that big room that's got a bunch of like canisters and the like, right?
So if I recall correctly,
Yeah, I'll just bring up the map so we're all on the
Yeah,
same
but ZT said, the girl said, let's go. We have to get out of here. And ZT, did you direct us towards the exit or towards where the screaming's coming from?
I didn't, but we should definitely go. You know, they're fresh out of the academy and they're going to get us all killed, but they are still our troopers. So
perfect. So yes, I'm going into that next room. I'm assuming this is towards where the screaming is.
Why, it is. In fact, when you open up this door, you see right here, nestled among all the stuff moving towards you, is this thing. It is about 8 feet long, and you might recognize it from a Dejaric table. It is what's called a chlor slug. It is one of the pieces on a Dejaric table. In real life, it's much bigger and much more terrifying. It does have circular rows of teeth that is more than big enough to surround someone's head. And it is coming towards you. What do you do, Nate?
Roll initiative?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. I rolled a 1.
Well, that's pretty amazing. You definitely go first.
Yeah.
In fact, what happens on an initiative of 1? Like, I want to say there's a cool thing, but let me make sure. If there's a critical success on initiative. Dang it. There we are. Initiative. You just act very first. Unfortunately, there's no super
fine.
benefit. Okay.
Happy with that.
Awesome. Zach and ZT, do you guys want to go ahead and roll your initiative as well?
I did. I passed with an 8.
Good. What about Zach?
And Zach will go after the slug.
Awesome. I'm sure
that's okay with you guys.
It'll be dead by then. It's fine.
Clerics always go last. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Sweet. So with that 1 critical success, let's have Nate go first. Also, you're right there in its way.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to, let's rock and open up full auto on this thing. Oh, so whenever I roll initiative, I get advantage and I need to roll adrenaline. So I rolled a 4 on adrenaline, which means everything's okay. Right?
Okay, hot.
Yeah. So then I'm going to roll let's rock. So that's 3 attacks on this guy. So that is a 6 and a 3 and an 11. And I'm trying to roll under my dex.
Yeah, man. That's 3 straight hits.
Yay.
Wow. So
and then
that's amazing. Yeah.
Is 6 on the first one, 2 on the second, and 2 on the third. And then I roll adrenaline again, and I got a 6 on adrenaline. So I think I'm still okay. And I used my weapon, so I have to roll.
Yep, usage die for your weapon.
And the usage die is a D8. Yes.
And
it goes down on a 1, and I rolled a 7, so I'm fine.
No, damage is a D8. Usage die is a D6.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I rolled a 2, and I only go down on a 1.
That's right. Nice call. I was like, but you got me. That's fantastic. Sweet. So you, and you light this thing up. You see that a couple of your blaster shots are glancing blows, but that first hit, his mouth was open, and he pierces through, kind of blasts away a few of the teeth, and the thing falls to the ground. But then one of the pincers is raising towards you. ZT, what do you do as you see this thing's trying to raise one of his pincers? Not pincers, but like those weird arm things.
So it's like falling down into the hole, but it's the back end of it.
No, it's like falling towards Nate's feet.
Oh, okay. Can I grab him and move him out of the way?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Because he's just rocking and rolling there with his blaster, and he's just so yeah, I'm gonna like body check him into away from the doorway so he doesn't get, or pull him. Are you like in that little catwalk? Am I pulling you back, Nate, or am I throwing you into the wall?
So I think I took the typical position, military position, stepping up, see action, brace myself, fire.
Yeah.
If you want to protect me, and you could grab the back of my suit and pull me back in.
All right.
If you're looking to brace me, you could come up into a, side position. It depends on what you're doing. Yeah.
Let's give you a strength roll, and
okay,
because you're grabbing them.
Yeah. I'm trying to protect you. I'm so good at strength. It's gonna go great. It didn't go great. I got
your strength is your second best stat. What are you complaining about? You're fine.
I don't have a lot of good. Yeah, I got a 16. So
that is not great. Sweet.
No.
So, you get a choice. Does it attack Nate or does it attack you, ZT?
I'll take the blow.
You'll take the blow. Awesome. Sweet. So this thing is incredibly fast. It moved up on you, got blasted a buttload of times, and falls to the ground because it's hurt, but it lashes out with one of its talons. And ZT, you shove Nate out of the side, and it slices through your leg, but possibly your arm will be fine. 5 points coming towards you. Do you want to use up your armor?
I have 4 armor points. I'll use 2 of them.
Okay.
So
it
3.
slices into your thigh. It hurts a great deal, and yeah, that's not awesome. Zach, you just saw this. Blood spurts out from ZT. Krista takes and runs towards the garage. She is done with this. Her little legs are carrying her as fast as she can. But Zach, what do you do?
I'm gonna head over to ZT and do a med check.
Oh, cool. This thing isn't dead yet. You're just gonna do the med thing where you're putting yourself at risk to save your corporal. That's bold. That's so bold. I admire that.
And he's not helpless yet, right?
He is not helpless yet.
No, yeah, ZT, she's not helpless yet.
Okay, so he's lost a few HP. His player rolls with advantage. All right, so let me do my check first.
All right.
Yep. And that's a med check, right? Or does he just roll?
Patient lost a few HP. Its player rolls a d6 with advantage and recovers that many HP. So you're basically med checking ZT up, and ZT.
And ZT, you're gonna roll with advantage.
Cool. So you roll 2d6 and recover the highest number of those 2 in HP. But that's going to take ZT's second turn. So you're leaving Nate to try to finish this thing off.
All right, I got a 4.
At that to me, so
go back to 10.
Okay, sweet. Next round. Let's have Nate, who's the only one in action, roll initiative one more time.
Do we re-roll initiative?
It's a great question.
I don't mind.
At the beginning of a combat, so no, we just stay with this. You go.
So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, which is the let's rock.
Nice.
And try and hit this guy 3 times. So that's an 8 hit, a 20, which is a critical miss. And the third is a miss as well.
Sweet.
So I hit once.
You hit once, and then your power pack goes on the fritz, and your E11, you're going to have to swap out the power pack.
Okay.
Actually, here's what we'll do. I'll downgrade your usage die to a D4. That'll be your critical miss there.
Okay.
So roll damage for your one hit that made it through.
I rolled an 8.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now I need to roll my adrenaline for the let's rock, and I rolled a 3.
Okay.
And then I need to roll the usage die for the gun. is I rolled a 1, which means it does go down.
Okay.
And now it's unusable, right?
Right.
From D4 it is nothing.
Yep.
So,
it's dead.
Oh, I want to show you one other thing.
Yes.
I went off screen for a second. This is the slug
Oh,
with the little stormtrooper.
it's the best.
Years ago, I picked that up years ago because I saw some people at a convention who had set up a Dejaric table, and they had all these cool minis from the Star Wars RPG where they could make Dejaric out of. I'm like, that's awesome.
Take an XP. You get an XP just for having kept the Dejaric table pieces and a stormtrooper to demonstrate that size differential. It's amazing. I love that. By the way, in the Star Wars Old Republic MMO, there's a whole mission where you fight Dejaric, or not Dejaric, sorry, where you fight Calor slugs. They look scary. Sweet. So yeah, that last shot takes it out, but then when you fire 2 more to make sure it's done, to kind of double tap it, your power pack is on the fritz. This thing's a little slug. It looks like there was some kind of back charge that happened. So your E11 is toast.
Yeah. So I think I sling it real quick and I say, let's back out. Oh, wait. ZT, orders. Yeah.
Cool. Zach's finished up patching you up. You're good to go. And you hear, ZR601. This little girl just ran out here. Should I let her into the transporter?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Get on that cannon.
Okay.
And then I'll radio over after ZT gives that order to get on the cannon. I say, these things have armor. They're giant slugs. They could easily take off your head, fire towards the mouth. They seem to have a weakness there, and kind of give him the tactical lowdown over the broadcast so that anyone else surviving also gets that. Yeah.
Cool. You guys are 10 clicks out, so you need to use the transport to come back to Halcyon. So Rafan says, should I call in for reinforcements, Corporal?
Absolutely.
Sir, yes, sir. Sweet. So you do not hear any more comm chatter from Epsilon. What do you do?
I'm gonna, as I'm getting up from my wound, I'll reach out and grab Zach's E11 and hand it to Nate, and take my pistol out and hand it to Zach. We're not done here.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
And then I'm going to take that to mean I'm going to continue moving forward. He handed me another weapon. I'm going to step on into the room, checking out for more of these things. I specifically look where this thing came from.
Cool. So it actually, if we kind of go back to our map, because I just like using that cool map.
Is this from one of the cutaway?
Yeah, it's the
books?
cutaway. This is Lars' farm.
That's nice.
I like it too. So yeah, this thing ran across through here. Hopefully you guys are able to follow my mouse pointer, not moist pointer. But it came through this point. And so when you follow back, it actually kind of had come through a passageway here. And so the main generator that runs the entire farm is in this particular area as you guys move through. And as you are moving through here, you hear someone coming up from behind you. And we guys all turn around. You see that sure enough, it's the incinerator trooper. He looks rough. There's all kinds of soot up around his hands. It looks like he may have taken a hit to his left arm because it's bleeding, like it tore through the armor. And he's breathing. I'm the only one left. There were three. There were three of them, but they're all dead. They're all dead.
Where's the rest of your squad, Trooper?
They didn't make it. Patch
That's
me
not
up.
what I asked.
He kind of turns his head and he looks back that way. Back there, sir.
I'm sorry, I didn't see the mouse. Back which way?
He did a head gesture back. Like
Oh.
he just head gestures back towards where he came running from.
Well, fall in. Which one is it? It's
Your incinerator
Flame
trooper.
Yeah.
Because
fall in
that's
HC 737.
So I think I grab him and I say, good job in the face of action. We'll face this together. And I form up with him side by side and we go forward first.
Nice.
So that he's not kind of showing him, don't stick in the back of your crew, stick in the front where you can blast them with flames. And I say, great. So we took care of a fourth. Did you see any more?
I killed everything I saw. They didn't retreat. They were like soldiers or something. I don't know. So you guys head past the generator area, and at this point, you can head out, or you can take the subterranean that heads through here towards the water storage, or you can head out onto the main area where the moisture evaporators are exposed to air, and there's other rooms across the way. Which way do you want to head?
ZT?
I want to head back to wherever the troopers went down.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's effectively in this underground area where you see that this was like an entertainment area. Maybe you see like a couple where they had glasses of blue milk and the like. It is the whole thing. It looks like it was just burnt to a crisp. There's still stuff on fire in here. You see that there are 3 horribly burned and shot up slugs. They are smaller than the one that you guys faced, and you see the bodies of the other members of this fire team. One of them appears to be half eaten by one of the slugs, but he burnt everything. And you see that he wasted half of his fuel tank on this place.
Great. So I think I lean over to him and I say, remember your training, soldier. Short bursts and clear the area. Make sure your line of sight is good.
Right.
This
just kept moving. They just kept moving. So
this is the repetition that we go through with in training of, that rote should kind of try and snap him back into his auto response. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It calms down a bit, but he does throw up the they kept moving. They kept moving, sir.
I'm gonna I don't know, Stormtrooper helmets can do this, but take a snapshot of the area because there's gonna be a bunch of paperwork about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of data pad work on this one.
We could probably grab a body in a sack if you want. You said these were smaller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they the size of a dog or?
2 of them are the size of a dog. One of them is smaller, but it had a mouth large enough to actually engulf one of the troopers' heads.
I see. So we could grab, put one of them in a sack if you want to return with it, sir.
It's a good idea, but I don't know if this area is clear yet. Still have quite a few unaccounted people in this family. We've got, let me see, who do we still have? We got 3 more people to find. Let's head up to the courtyard.
Cool. So you You guys, all four of you, head out to the courtyard.
Didn't the girl say that the others had died?
Sure, they took them.
They took them. I see. Okay.
So you head out to the main area here. It's breath. The picture shows a bonk droid and all that stuff. None of that is here. This central, effectively courtyard area is dead. The moisture evaporator is shut off. It's no longer collecting. And then there's a storage area over here, and then a workroom, kind of like a grow area that's set up over here. Those doors, this door looks like it's been like shoved open, and it's exposed to the sunlight. And then this door, it also is half opened. And a glance at the hinges looks like that it was forcefully opened, like torn open.
I'll gesture at the storage area with our new friend, the incinerator trooper, taking point.
Nice.
Keep my repeater trained on the work area.
Okay, so as you head into the work area, you see that it is empty of life. At first glance, there is a work table. Looks like one of the members of the family was into kind of a bonsai type of thing. They knocked over a bunch of little plants, but there were these tiny little scissors and clips and the like, and you can see they're in fanciful little designs. And a bit they kind of pulled off some of the water from the moisture evaporators in order to grow these small bushes. Doesn't, from New Caden, you don't think there's like a market for this. It's probably just something that is done for their own entertainment. And as you look in, you see that there is, among the dirt area, what appears to be like a trail. And you can see where some fistfuls of dirt were grabbed. It looks like someone was dragged away from here.
So it's not a bloody trail.
It is not a bloody trail. No.
Okay. I think I'm going to cover that while we do a sweep of this area. As soon as we say this is clear, we'll follow that trail.
Cool. And so in the storage room, what you hear from your incinerator trooper, he says, there's a couple droids in here. There's a bonk droid. Powered itself down. I don't speak binary.
Yeah, well, let's clear out this. Just hold fast.
I'm going to lean over to Zach and say, I think our incinerator trooper is panicking. Do you have anything to calm me down?
Yeah, I think I can reassure him that everything's going to be okay.
Thank you.
He's with us, so.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you have advantage on nerve tests when confronted with frightening events. I didn't realize that. That's awesome. You see some stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you say?
I'm going to go to our incinerator trooper. I forget his name there. It's
Rack.
Everything's going to be okay. If you stay calm, we're going to be good. Just stay calm.
Yeah.
We made it through worse.
I haven't made it through worse.
You've got this. Just focus, listen to ZT, listen to Nate. They know what they're doing.
And give me a charisma roll. See how this goes.
That number for me is a 10. Oh, a 14.
Okay, he says, "Yeah, I got it. It's good. It's good." And he seems to be a little calm. And then you feel like this sharp stomach pain. And you ever feel like your gorge rise, like the idea of like you're almost about to puke for a moment, and your eyes water up. Yeah, then it passes.
Okay, we're good. Nate is good.
I'm gonna scope out this hole where it appears the botanist has been dragged to.
Oh, yeah. So when you scope out the hole where the botanist is dragged to, you see there are a couple of shovels, and it looks like they have been digging in this particular area. And you see that there was some stuff that had been stored off to the side. And then you see that in this area that was manually dug by shovels, that there's like a T intersection effectively with this round like wormhole that came through. So it's as if they had broken into something that was already there. This may have been the ignition point.
You're with me, right, Nate?
Yeah.
I'm gonna like slowly back. Actually, no. We'll play to lose here. I'm gonna sort of scope out both ways on this T intersection. I'm gonna try and figure out what they were digging for.
Okay. Cool. Give me a intelligence roll.
Okay. Ooh, that's a failure.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So you stick your head in trying to figure out what's going on. And then you hear movement, like a little dirt falls down from the hole. And you see, as you're shining, you see if there's one that's moving towards you. What do you do?
I roll for initiative is what I do.
Yeah, you do. All right. I mean,
let's re-roll. I get advantage on that.
All right.
Oh, but it doesn't matter.
You fail.
I fail.
Sweet. This one isn't quite as big as that first one you faced, so it comes out and it's gonna bite at your. I mean, you gave your pistol to Zach, right? So you've got your E11. So it's going to try to bite at your weapon. It's smart enough to know what you attack it with. You're going to take 4 points of damage. How much do you want your armor to eat?
I'll let it soak 2 of it.
Nice.
So my armor is out.
Your armor is out. You just lost some hit points. You lost 2 fingers on your offhand as this thing bites in, snatches that, rips it and gobbles it up. You get to act now. What do you want to do?
If it bit my fingers off, it is way too close for me to. Actually, no. I'm gonna back up and start shooting at it as best as I can.
Cool.
Shooting's
if you want to roll the
Nate's
adrenaline, if you want to roll adrenaline, you can fire twice this round.
Oh yeah. Let's roll adrenaline.
It's not quite as good as Let's Rock, but
I got a 6.
Okay.
So I'll roll these both. No advantage here. Just
yep. You just roll into 2 attacks. Gotcha.
Yep. 1 is a 2, so that's a hit.
Nice. And then the other's a 19.
And then I get D8 on the.
Yep.
No, I get a D6 for damage.
If you're using the E11,
my light repeater 11. Yeah, it's D6.
Okay. Cool.
And that's a 3.
Okay.
And then we re-roll my usage die, which stays. So I do 3.
Sweet. So you fire, you hit this thing in the maw after it shoots you. You've backed up, And Nate, you're right there. So we'll let you go after it. We don't really roll initiatives because he was in the way. She was in the way. So you can act. What do you want to do?
I'm going to let's rock. This is what I do, right? So I'm going to start shooting. Yep. And that is a 6. That is a 10. And that is a 15. So
2
let's
hits.
roll damage. The damage on the first one is a 7. And the damage on the second one is a 7.
Oh,
and then initiative, not initiative, but adrenaline. I rolled a 6. And then usage die on the weapon is also a 6.
Cool. That is nice. You just light this thing up. ZT, you moved out of the way. You fired on it. You hit it in a little bit, but then Nate just two dead shots, hits it in one of its weird little recessed eyes, and then shoots it right down the gullet, and the thing stops moving. It just falls over and starts bleeding out in this weird kind of slick black blood. Zach, you hear this frenetic amount of action, and that's when Vrak is like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And he starts charging over. He's turned his pilot light on, and he's possibly going to burn everyone down. What do you do, Zach?
All right, this is not good. I'm going to he's about to burn us all, right? I'm going to
Well, I mean, you're on the other side of it. Just your the rest of your fire team. Just ZT and Nate. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna tackle into him. I can't.
Oh, give me a strength roll to tackle into him. He's screaming, "It's still moving! It's still moving!"
You're gonna hit them! Don't stop. And strength roll. I've been rolling crap all day. I made it. 7.
Nice. Sweet. So you knock him to the ground, and he struggles for just a minute, but it's enough to kind of take him out of that complete freak out, and he does not struggle back with you. He's okay. Oh, good. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. You guys should move back. I could toast it just to make sure. But he doesn't try to fight his way up to do that. CT, what do? You just saw Zach tackle Vrak to the deck.
I'm gonna I like walk past Nate, just push him aside, and I'm gonna grab like the interconnect between the fuel tanks for the flame trooper and his weapon, disconnect it, and I'm gonna take my helmet off so that none of this is on comms, and I'm just gonna lay into Nate because he may have just saved my life, but I have a trooper up in the APC who can't walk because he beat the crap out of him in the refresher, and I'm just gonna lay into Nate about like, this has gone to hell. I have a trooper up in the APC I can't use because you put his boot into his chest. I've got another trooper on the ground here who I just had to remove his weapon because he's lost his head. Care to explain yourself, trooper?
Sir, yes, sir. I have failed you, and I will do better in the future. Thank you, sir.
You're carking right, you will. And I'm gonna turn to Zach in this fit of rage and just be like, you put him out. You put him to sleep. I don't care how you do it.
No. Not till they're all dead. And he's not going to let you put him to sleep voluntarily. He will start fighting back at that. What do you do, Zach?
You're muted, love.
you heard the orders, and I'm going to pull out whatever sedative is in my med pack
Mm-hmm.
and attempt to apply it with this struggling patient.
All right, give me a strength roll to overpower him.
Better not roll a 20. I rolled a 3. Wow.
What? Oh, that's awesome, man. You muscle him over, jam that little injector in, hit him, and he starts screaming, "No, they're going to get me. They're going to heat me. They're gonna... And then he stops talking, and then his breathing gets shallower, more and more shallow. Then he's out.
Trooper lost his head. This has gone to what's my word?
You can say hell.
This has gone to hell. We have got to get out of here.
I'm gonna stop. HN843, you seal that dwang hole, and we are leaving. Dwang.
So I'm going to make this up a little bit. I think that Rack probably has, like a thermal detonator or grenade or something like that.
Oh,
so
yeah, he's got grenades.
I'm just going to pull this, pop it, drop it down that hole. And then I'm going to stop for a second, grab a second, pop it, throw it down the hole, and then back everyone up.
Sweet. You guys back up. We're back to here. So maybe you back out into the central area here, and then you hear thump, thump, and there's just like a good amount of vibration. Bunch of dust like shoots out of the hole towards you guys, but you've got helmets on, so you're fine. I assume you drug Incinerator Trooper Rack back as well, and then everything is quiet for a moment. What do you want to do?
I'll sling Rack on my shoulder and then fall in with ZT.
Cool. ZT, you kind of heading back the way you came to GTFO?
Yeah, there's only one place we haven't really looked, right?
Yeah.
It's this little leisure area over here. Like
this is so you
yeah,
this is where you just blew stuff up.
Oh, you can't see my mouse.
I can't.
Ooh, can we actually on Google Drawing? Can't we we can pin.
Yeah. You want me to drop this pic into a Google Drawing? Is that helpful?
Oh, actually, hold on. I think we can.
I could drop it in here in our current
it's comment only. Don't worry about it. There's like it's like that Persian looking rug on the bottom there. Have we been in there?
You have not. So this was the area that was subterranean that kind of led over. That's the one place you haven't been. Sorry. So yeah, I'm on the same page as you now.
I think that's the only place that, because it's like the last remaining room. I think the ZT might stick her head in there.
Oh,
just to give it a once over as the rest of the squad collects themselves.
Awesome, sweet. So
what could go wrong?
Yeah, you head in, open the door, slides open, and you see the bodies of the families, and there are all these these long little baby core slugs that are like burrowing in and eating on the bodies. What do you do?
I probably roll my adrenaline die. My adrenaline die for that.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. Why don't you go ahead and
that's kind of let's roll that ruin roll here.
This would be a good game for trophy. That's a real good.
Oh, and that's a 1. That affects me.
A critical failure leads to a panic attack. Yes. Once a character's adrenaline die is depleted.
No, it's just reduces it to a D4, unfortunately.
Oh, it just reduces it 1. Oh yeah, that's right. So Failure means it runs away unless the player chooses to roll adrenaline. So you may a nerve test. Yeah. Okay.
So
So
I'm gonna
it freaks you out,
grab.
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the ultimate. It's not the incinerator trooper action there.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the flame trooper stuff and just lay into this room.
Oh, your plan is to just burn the room up?
Just burn the room up. Just
sweet. So as you quickly try to grab the incinerator gear, I mean, Nate, Zach, you see ZT is working on a thing.
ZT, what's going on? I've got my hand, on the blaster because I've got to make sure that.
And Nate had rack over his shoulder, so you're grabbing the stuff off of Nate.
Yeah. So, ZT, what's going on? What's your order?
I found the rest of the family. One last bit of cleanup.
Yeah? They alone?
So you look back inside and you see another very large, like, you guys fought the daddy when you first walked in. This is the mama. She's moving out of the water storage area where she laid all the rest of her eggs. This was the first batch that's just hatched.
And she's coming from this private area, or she's coming back from the water storage area?
She's coming from the water storage area. Hopefully you guys can still see that. And she's coming out of the water storage area into the area where the cool Persian rug type deal. This is where all of the little baby slugs are that have hatched and they've come out to eat. The people that she secured for them with her and daddy and the others. And the very first batch is mostly the ones that Incinerator Trooper and his squad took out. So yeah, Mama's here. What do you guys want to do? You want to burn it up still? You want to do that tense standoff where you like threaten to burn it?
I think we have to roll initiative, don't we?
I think so. Let's go ahead and have you guys make nerve tests to roll for initiative.
I got a 6.
I got a 1.
Nice. You guys are really good at initiative generally.
For some reason, stormtroopers get an advantage on it. Oh, but I have to roll.
I completed my nerve check, so.
You did? Okay, you guys all go first. So Mother moves out, and those teeth all start wiggling in her mouth as she opens it up. She hisses at you. It's huge. Here, let me show you the picture again, just in case you guys have forgotten. Glor slug. She is 10 feet long. She's a big mama. You guys all get to go first. Who rolled the one? Whoever rolled the one, you can go first.
I rolled the 1. So yeah, as she just starts to, Stranger Things thing. I'll just like whip the incinerator off. I'll use maybe like my first thing to jack the plug back in and just lay right into her.
Nice.
And I will probably fail at this because I'm not great at shooting.
I mean, you're good at telling other people to shoot.
Oh yeah, that's an 18.
Oh wow.
I'm better at you shoot, not me shoot.
All right, cool.
Not quite a critical, but not a success.
All right.
I guess I roll usage on that regardless. I'm guessing it's probably a D4 because it's depleted.
Yes.
Because Rack is such a good soldier.
Rack has used it up. Yes, he is awesome.
Good news. I still have something left in the tank.
Nice. Literally in the literal tank. That is the best. Yeah, flamethrower does 2 encumbrance. Usage die is a D6, but it's down to a D4, and it deals ongoing damage. So yeah, you flame up and you take out, like, the flame arcs out and it kills a bunch of little babies. The little squeal sound that they make as they start frying up. But the mother, she climbs up onto the ceiling to avoid the flame, and now she's going to try to pounce down on you. But Zach and Nate, you guys both act before she does.
So I'm gonna step up. Did you have something, Zach?
No, I'll let you go first.
Okay.
God,
I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna grab the incinerator from ZT. Like, I figure he's kind of holding it like under his arm, right? To kind of spray at it. And I'm like, because I don't know if he had enough time to get it on his back or anything. So I'm gonna chunk it in to the room, and then I'm gonna shoot it.
That's amazing. Oh wow, that's going to do a lot of damage if you hit. Let's see how that goes. I know you're a regular dice roller, so let's see how it goes.
Let's do that. Let's rock. That is a 15. So that's a miss.
That's a miss, yeah.
That's a second 15. So that's a miss. And that is a 13.
Oh!
Which is also a miss.
Oh my gosh!
And then I rolled my adrenaline to do that, and the depletion is at 2, so I'm still okay. Okay.
Wow. All right, so you throw the tank in,
yep.
which we know has some juice in it, so that would have been pretty terrible. It plunks right down underneath this thing. You fire 3 shots, and it's totally a reenactment from Mandalorian. Zach, I think you pick up on what Nate was trying to do, but maybe the fact that this thing's about to drop down and try to attack you guys is a bit more important.
Yeah, I'm actually going to use the blaster on the slug.
Okay.
And let's roll first. I got a 6. That's a hit. That's a success.
Oh, nice.
Did you, ZT, you gave me your blaster, right?
Yeah, but damage is class-based, so I think you just roll a d4.
Yeah, so I'm still d4 no matter what. So
sorry.
No, it's what it is. I picked a medic. Oh, got a 4.
Wow, that's awesome. That actually gets through some of its armor. Amazing.
It's good, so I don't waste the ammo.
Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As she has a lot of bogeys to attack. So, it appears that Nate is her. Yeah, you were gonna. She doesn't even understand why you were firing in the ship, but maybe you were going after her babies. So she drops down from the ceiling and reaches out with one of her claws to like pull you towards her gaping maw, and you will take 6 points of damage, friend. What do you wish to do about that? How much of your armor eats that up? You're still muted, Stephen. That's weird.
Sorry, I've got double mutes.
All right.
Sorry about that. Is there any disadvantage to taking a lot of damage?
No, but if you get knocked down to 0, then you become, helpless and die and stuff.
So I think I'll only take one of that points through my armor where she slices through like where a joint is, and I'm going to take 5.
Nasty. Yeah. I mean, that's less than half, but a lot of hit points. So I think it's a thing where the claw comes in, she bites into your shoulder and rips off some of that armor there, and you get a bunch of those teeth marks, but you wrench away, and with the music and blood just kind of comes dripping off of those teeth, and it rears back like it's going to attack again. But now it's your turn. ZT, what do you want to do?
All right, so now Mama's on top, right?
Yeah, Mama's on top. She's like right in the middle of you guys. You do not have a flamethrower.
I do not have a flamethrower. All right, so I'm gonna use the just relax, because I think that in the fiction, and what I want to do is I want to like call up Rafan, who's still up there in the APC. I know he's probably going to take a little while to get here, but it's be like, ZR601, we have a situation in the courtyard, need immediate fire assistance. And then my second action is to take my light repeater and lay into the core slug, but I'm more trying to draw her ire towards me
Mm-hmm.
than I am trying to do damage.
Oh yeah, that seems wise.
All right, let's see if I can shoot. No, I can't. That's a 12.
It's 12. All right, awesome, sweet. Good deal. So yeah, you call in support. You hear from Rafani says, "Sorry, sir, on my way." And let's see what Nate's up to.
So I'll roll onto my back, and since it was on top of me,
Mhm.
I'm going to kind of do that whole ground shuffle out and get away and pull up my weapon, and I'm going to try and shoot the mother.
I think that's probably the right choice.
Right. That is a 5.
Oh, nice.
That is a 14. Yes.
Yes.
And that is a 17. So I got 1 hit.
All right.
Let's roll my adrenaline. So I got a 6. I'll roll my damage. I got an 8. And I'll roll my recharge, which is a 1. So my gun goes down 1.
Okay. Sweet. That 8 is definitely going to hurt. You blow off a couple of its arms with your that one shot that lands. That is nasty, but yeah, it's still wriggling. Zach, as you start to take aim, you see that there are a bunch of these little baby chlor slugs that have come towards the warm meat, which would be you. They're not that long, but they might try to crawl up and try to find crevices in your armor and stuff like that. Just so you know, probably want to deal with the mama first, but that's just a thing that's in the background there.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna just step back a step or two if I can from them, and then shoot again at the mom. Nate is underneath her, or he got out from underneath
He
her?
wriggled out from underneath her.
Good, okay.
She has not attacked yet.
All right, yeah, then if not, I was going to try to yank him out, but let's give her a blast, and roll a 19th. I do not succeed.
Okay, cool, sweet.
And I gotta roll usage. Let's cross our fingers. And I go down.
Oh, really? That's
I go down
terrible.
1 die.
Sweet. So your weapon goes down by a little bit. You see the power pack is reading that it's nearly empty. And yeah, those things start crawling up your legs and wriggling in. You feel one of them biting on that joint, like right behind your knee, you know, as it's trying to find purchase where there isn't that Durasteel or whatever that the Stormtrooper armor is made out of. Meanwhile, you do draw its attention, CT. Congratulations. As it bites at you because that's its best attack, and also when it bites people's heads off, they stop shooting it. So you're going to take 5 points of damage.
Yeah, can't do anything about that.
Sweet. So
no armor left.
Yeah, no armor left. I think that you throw an arm up and it takes it. As that mouth clamps around it and you feel it kind of twist and schism off, and it pulls it, Stormtrooper armor and everything. And then it comes back and gobbles that down.
I'm guessing I have to do an
yeah,
adrenaline check on that one.
You should do an adrenaline check. Yeah.
I should do that. Okay. It goes down on it goes out on a 1 and a 2, or it goes
1
out
and
on
a 2 for you.
1 and a 2. Oh,
just
boy,
a 1 for Nate because he's
flip a coin. Here we go. Oh, goodbye. That's enough. I have to.
Oh, you're out of adrenaline? Yes, panic table. perfect timing too. I
Now,
mean, you
do
lost
I
an
get?
arm.
I no, because it only goes to my squad members, not me. I don't get calmed down by my.
No, you
hits.
don't.
No.
No, that's why you need to tell them to go do stuff. All right. So let's cool. So once a character's adrenaline die is depleted, the player must roll on the following table: the panic attack. You get to roll a d6.
Here we go. That's a 3.
All right. The gross one. Pukes and
gross
loses
one.
1 HP. Kind of makes sense.
I don't have much HP to go. That's not a great one to roll.
No, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
The pain is intense. And yeah, you throw
Luckily,
off your helmet.
I have my helmet off.
Oh, right. Don't have your helmet off.
It's somewhere
Great.
over there in the dirt.
So you can puke, like you just puke from the pain, and it's no longer worried about you, ZT. You're fine. It'll come eat you later, or just leave you for the babies. Nate, you're up. This thing is now turned to face you.
Right. And I think I brace myself and step kind of between ZT and say, I think I shout ZT, get cover and start blasting at this thing. Let's see what that looks like.
Nice.
That's a 4. That's a 20.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's a 1.
Wow.
Okay. So let's roll the adrenaline die. So that's a 5. And the usage die, which is a 2, which is still good. And then damage for the first hit is 6. And then the second one was the critical failure.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want me to roll the critical hit? Or do you want to do
go ahead and
something
roll
with the failure first?
critical hit. Oh, let's see. On critical hit, what happens on critical hit? I think.
I don't know.
Is it max damage automatically? Hold on, let me see. Threat level, attacking, defending, critical. I was looking up another thing. Sorry.
That's fine.
I wasn't anywhere close to that.
Here it is.
Critical is always a success, but it doesn't then roll forward to give you max damage. Let's just
Okay.
do max damage. Because this is I think you're gonna kill it. Yeah. If you did, what was the first attack? 6?
6.
Yeah, and then the second one will say that you did max damage. That's awesome. Yeah, so you fire on it a couple of times, and this thing, she stops moving. And then we hear the turrets go off from behind as Rafan fires on the bug. And you will take some of the damage, Nate. Now, you're pretty sure it was already dead.
Right.
You get to roll 3d6.
Okay. That's a 5 and a 6 and a 5. So 16.
That's 16 hit points worth of damage. You take half of it.
Okay. So that would be 8, and my armor will absorb 3, so I'll take 5.
And yeah, it's the thing where your ears are ringing, get thrown clear from this explosion from the turret as it just eviscerates the corpse of the thing. It wasn't even done falling when Rafan fires on it. And yeah, it is very much dead. There are still little babies on Zach. And ZT, after puking, your adrenaline is gone, but you're starting to feel out of sorts, and you're starting to remember things. That feeling that you had, that sharp stab of pain at the back of your neck just moments before you lost it before. What do you do, ZT? think you're about to lose it. You're about to go there again.
I think I'm gonna try my best to push the feeling down. Because I've gotta keep it together for this squad.
Right. Give me a nerve roll. At disadvantage.
I'm gonna use my one survivor.
Yes.
I believe that just makes it a flat roll, though, right?
It does. It makes it a flat roll.
Okay.
Great call.
Right. Here we go. Oh. Nope. That's 17.
Okay. Awesome. So Zach, you still got these bogeys on you. You've taken 1 hit point of damage from the one that bit at the back of your leg. What are you going to do about these D8 worth of slugs that are crawling along your body looking for places to eat you?
Well, first, do I have to make a nerve check for that in particular?
You know, I think that's a really fair question to ask. Go ahead and make a nerve check. Thank you.
All right. Luckily, I do have advantage, but one can always roll 2 20s.
One could.
Nerve for me is I fail.
That's what I thought. I saw that 19 and 14. I thought.
Yeah, I thought I was only 12, but I checked. So, yep, I fail.
Okay. Failure means you run away unless you choose to roll adrenaline.
I'm going to roll adrenaline.
All right, do it.
What is my adrenaline?
It should be a D6, I think.
Just a D6, yep. 4.
Okay. You keep it together. K-I-T. Keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together.
Keeping it together and stupidly shooting these things that are on my body.
That's amazing. If you fail, you will take damage to yourself.
Oh my God!
Is that a 20?
Nat 20.
Oh man. All right.
Take
Go
it
ahead
away.
and roll damage.
Oh man. Thank God my damage is only D4, but still a crit. 1, but
Okay. So you fire and you hit one of these little worms, but it was right on your thigh. You shoot yourself in the thigh. You let your armor grasp that up, and you also will take 3 points of damage. Do you want to eat that with your armor? This is from these things biting and trying to worm their way inside you.
oh yeah, what ours is my armor points didn't reset.
You should have 4 armor points.
4, right? I'm gonna eat these ones up.
Okay. So you're down to just 1 armor point.
And there we go. Whew. Goodness, that was bad.
Cool. So, Nate, your ears are ringing. You've been shot by a transport turret, and you see ZT standing over you. And for a moment, you think she's going to reach down to help you up, but she doesn't. She drops a knee down onto your chest and rips off your helmet. And you see her fingers coming towards your eyes, and her eyes are completely she's feral. She's lost it.
I think that I shout medic and I kick. So she's on top of me, right?
Yeah.
And I kick up into a roll to try to knock her off.
Cool. Just give me a strength check.
Yeah. So that is a 2.
Oh, yeah. You wrench her off. You're a strong grunt. You roll out of the way, and she's probably going to come back towards you. Zach, you're dealing with these things. You feel one of them has entered your side. Like you can feel it. It's working its way around your armor. You can feel it's cut and started to try to get to your flesh. And then Nate is calling for your help as ZT is charging after him.
I look over at Nate and I see what's going on with ZT, and I raise my blaster, point it at ZT's head, and take a shot.
All right.
We have a deal.
Over the comms, you hear Rafan like, Corporal, what are your Corporal?
I made it. I succeeded.
Nice. Roll some damage.
4.
That's it. That's all you've got, right, CT?
ZT is helpless.
Cool. So when you run out of hit points, you are helpless. Go ahead and roll on our helpless. Roll a d6.
All right. Promises made and promises kept. Here we go. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. That's the roll. It's a 5.
Okay. Lost a limb. Must be replaced by a prosthesis.
Another limb.
Yeah. Oh man, that's rough. What do you think?
It's up to you, Rich. I'm like, either Zach is a terrible shot and I lose the limb, or Zach is a good shot and was pointing at my head. I think the roll was a win. I mean,
well,
that's true. Can I toss something out?
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
What if you become like a Lobot? So
Yes.
he shot you in the head, but you've got like a cybernetic thing now.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Good suggestion. And Star Wars canon, that is gorgeous.
Perfect.
Sweet. So you pop ZT right in the back of the head, and she drops to her knees, and then tries to crawl for a moment, and then just bam, out. And there's a quiet for a few moments, and then you guys are far enough away from.
and I'm like,
Rafan starts firing on the hole where he sees other worms crawling out.
Soldier, stop. We need to evacuate, and we will be there momentarily, and then we can nuke this place.
Cool.
Nate, they're crawling on me.
Sweet. I strip Zach down out of his armor and try and make sure, we back away from where they are and strip down Nate or Zach and start pulling off,
Okay, yeah, it's like fighting leeches, right? So it hurts. Let's say, Zach, you take a few more points of damage, 2 more points of damage, but with Nate helping you, you're able to get the last of the worms out of you. And then you hear Rafan saying, hey, reinforcements are here. We just need to secure this position. And I think that maybe we'll move towards epilogues here. Like, this seems like the point where we got another troop transport that's like zooming. TIE fighters are coming screaming over ahead. And so what is it that we see for an epilogue for Zach? I'm really curious. Like, what's our epilogue for him?
I think we see Zach visiting ZT in Medbay. Just making sure, as she's going through the cybernetic process and just the healing, that she knows I'm there, still there for her. And I never apologize, though. I did what I needed to do, and it was the right thing. So I never actually apologize.
Nice. I think logically we go to ZT. What is ZT's? ZT's got the Lobot thing going on. I assume her head was shaven, right?
Yeah. I think it's, maybe a little bit later. And ZT is at some garrison of Zsinj. And she's like a librarian now, essentially.
I imagine once you get Lobot, that you're no longer a trooper.
But she has like the full cybernetic limb, and she has the full, cybernetic thing, and she's going through the archive files, and she pulls up the simulation files for that mission, for the because it's not classified in any way. It was just worms, right? And she just like, she doesn't sleep anymore. She just does that every night. She does it again. She does it again. She does it again.
Oh man. What about for Nate? What's our epilogue for Nate?
So I think that whenever the camera zooms in on Nate, basically he's in full armor, and you hear this quietness, and then all of a sudden there's an explosion in the background, and the camera zooms out a little bit, and you see, him with his squad like in a trench, and they're under fire, and he pulls out, and you look over and you can see that it's, the armor markings from Pex and from Rafan and from Rack. He's still got his, his troop that and basically they're all under fire, and all of a sudden they all pop up, and Rack lets go with his incinerator, and Nate comes out blasting with his repeater, and then the camera kind of wipes.
This is awesome. It never changes.
That's right.
War as hell. Awesome. That brings our 2-shot of Extinction to a close. You guys were brilliant. I really liked these characters and just the level of threat and just tenacity. Good stuff. Let's do a little bit of like Roses and Thorns. I'm really curious what your thought, like your experience of playing Extinction was, and how the mix of alien Starship Troopers meets Stormtroopers, like how you felt. Was it a fun experiment? Greg, why don't you lead us off? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a fun experiment. I think I was surprised with how low it was in lethality. I mean, we almost had a squad wipe there at the end. I honestly expected to just like keep building characters for this game or something.
I know, I did too.
Yeah. I think it it's always hard to know if we just roll really well in over average. I can't do the math that quickly in my head. But I did expect to like lose a character. I was very happy with the results. Don't get me wrong there.
No, I hear you though.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. I do find the Black Hack is one of the more story gamey of the trad systems. Not to get too much into the RPG speak, but the few games I've played of the Black Hack, it's never been just straight Black Hack, but I do find that it has a lot of flexibility. You can do more story game things with it, and I enjoyed it. And then occasionally it's fun to roll initiative. So
cool. Thank you very much, Greg. Scott, what did you think?
I like the way I like how you handled what could have just been a really combat heavy kind of system.
Thank you.
So yeah, the way that it was also a story game while being a trad game, the way that like Gumshoe can be that way. And I've never played Black Hack, so it was nice to for me, for somebody who plays both traditional games and story games, it's nice to see a good blend of the two. And I actually really enjoyed that because I don't generally like combat heavy games. I don't dislike them, and I will play them and enjoy them. But, and then I actually really liked the small squad feel, how that worked out. I don't have a lot of actual like direct experience with things like the Clone Wars and whatnot, and certainly I've actually never seen Starship Troopers, although I've read the book a couple of times. But it did have that.
Hey, the book's better, so.
Yeah, well, that's all I've heard. So why? But it had the feel of that, where we were just hanging out together when we weren't on mission, and then on the mission it was could lose anybody at any time.
Sweet. Sweet. I'll just interject real quick to say, like, one of my favorite movies growing up was Platoon. I think that's a brilliant movie, and Full Metal Jacket was also real good. But like Platoon, there's a little bit more to it, and it's interesting because I kind of expected that the downtime will be a little bit more like that, but then once we put in the character histories, the pasts that you guys had, and some of the events that are happening in between, it definitely had that Stormtrooper Imperial slant to it, where there was just like a really hard edge and a lot of tension there, and that was just fascinating. I really expected it to be like super tense fights, really good buddies outside, but no, it was like super tense fights and kind of dealing with life in an imperial regime outside of it, which was neat on off because it was never truly off. Like, God, it was Steven, what were your thoughts?
As far as thorns, I was thinking about this during the game. My thorn was the adrenaline die didn't seem like a risk. It was something that I was rolling all the time, but it was never an issue until we got towards the end and Greg hit it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was just a luck thing. And it fits in really well with this theme, which is, everything's completely fine until it's not.
Yeah.
And things go south super quick, which I think fits in really well with this theme of aliens or horror or this intense action where, outside of the action, we're all okay. We're just chit-chatting, and it seems like, there's just tension going on there, and you're bored a little bit. Like, you're bored people, so you're making up fights and you're making up things to deal with it. You do the real action, and it really quickly.
Yeah, I liked how south it went so quickly.
Yeah.
So I really liked. So as far as roses, I really liked. Basically everything fit really well. I liked the way that ZT ended up. That made a lot of sense in the fiction of the game. I liked how Zach was, managing everybody, but was still and kept his promise. Managing all the things that were coming after him, but kept his promise. I think that this was a good pick for this kind of game. This setting or this system was a good pick for this kind of game because of the feeling that it gave it. It fits the troop feeling really well.
Good. I'm really happy that I went with a fire team versus a whole squad. Like, I felt like some interrelation within the fire team, and having a second fire team of greens that were off in a different place gave you a touch that like there's a bunch of folks, but we didn't have to like manage them, which I was glad. Although you guys managing Rafan and Rock was great. Really fun. Love playing this with you guys. I was very excited at the roster that signed up, and you guys did not disappoint. Thank you for giving this a shot. And I like Stormtrooper goodness. This I think we're going to have some more Stormtrooper stuff in a few months after I figure out how to run Hearts of Force.
There is one thing I want to bring
yes.
up. I loved Steve, and I loved Scott. I loved the troopers you played. Steve, you played the grunt thing to like a hilt. And that was amazing. And Scott, you were such a good medic. You were always like, well, the medical thing. I got to do the medical thing, and then we'll get to the trooping. Being the fire team leader, if we run this in the future, it was a little. It felt to me sometimes asymmetric about how much spotlight time I was getting. Or I don't know if it was true, but it just like, okay, well, I have to decide where we go. And I mean, I signed up for that, I guess, as part of it.
Yeah.
I felt like I was doing a lot of the directing of the NPCs, like Rafan go here and Rock go here. And I was okay with that. I enjoyed doing that part, but I know other players might not always feel as comfortable doing that. Mm-hmm. So just something to keep in mind for future iterations.
I was a trooper. You are the most important person on the team. So I never felt like I didn't get enough spotlight time. I mean, you're the fire team leader. You are the most important one, as far as in our experience. That's who we listen to. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
have to admit,
there could be players who don't like that, but hopefully they wouldn't sign up for a squad-based, military game. But who knows?
Greg, I had the same kind of concern that between my fight club and then going in and doing all these different interactions and taking the lead in a lot of the fights and stuff like that and doing all these shoots, I was like, am I stealing too much of the spotlight? So it's good to hear that you were concerned about that. I wasn't concerned about you making the directions or anything. So yeah, it fit in well for me.
Cool. And I loved, Rich, how you played all of the NPCs as bumbling idiot stormtroopers. It was so very Star Warsy that, because I knew when I'm directing those NPCs, I'm like, well, here you go, Irfan, go die. Because I knew that they were instantly crit failing like every one of their rolls, and that was so perfect for playing a squad of stormtroopers. That like every squad that disappears off screen, well, good luck, Epsilon squad.
There's a Wilhelm yell, and yeah, they are object lessons.
The Zsinj voice. Love the Zsinj voice.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that he was
this is the person in charge. And it was great. And I actually really love the Fight Club thing. It's like for the grunt, the fighting never stops. Downtime perfect. About fighting. Time is about fighting.
In the Hell on Legs that we played earlier this month, Pex was in a chicken fight with our pilots for the ATST Walker, and they had a fight in the mud on each other's back. It was like you instantly picked the right character. I'm like, yes!
I was like, I can't believe he chose Pex. That's so perfect.
Awesome.
Yes, that was made me super happy. And of course I used the picture of Animal Mother, so that was fun. He was a thug. That was great. Really enjoyed this. This was fun, guys. Thank you so much, and thanks for the after game chatter. That was heartening. I'll go ahead and bring the YouTube recording to a close. Thank you all so much for playing.